Welcome to Watching the Game. I'm your host, Idrees Mohammed Kudemi, joined today by Yasser Kudemi. Over the
Yes.
weekend, we had a blockbuster NFL trade before the season even finished, as Matthew Stafford was sent to the LA Rams for Jared Goff, 2 first-round picks, and a third-round pick. What were your initial reactions?
To be honest, as the season went on, especially in the playoffs, you could tell that McVay and Goff it was not working.
Mm-hmm.
There was definitely going to be something happening at the QB position. And the Rams went out and they got Matthew Stafford, but they don't have a first round pick for it's been 7 years. First round pick and it's continue.
That's honestly kind of crazy, because we haven't seen something like this since the 80s, where a team just doesn't pick in the first round for forever. I mean, I see the upside. I mean, Stafford is much better than Goff.
Yeah.
He can make his reads by himself, and he can take the offense to another level. But if this doesn't work, like if they're not deep in the playoffs, this could easily backfire. I mean, when the Texans traded for Laramie Tunsil, they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna be in the playoffs anyway. The first round picks won't matter that much." And then they ended up giving the third overall pick this year. I don't think it would get that bad, but it's something worth noting. I'm not gonna be pessimistic about it, because I honestly think right now this makes the Rams the NFC favorites for next year, just like as
Really?
of right now. Because
Why do you say that?
they'll still have a top 5 defense even without Brendan Staley, or most likely. And then, if Stafford elevates the offense, you still have good receivers, good running backs, decent enough O-line. He'll be put in his best position to succeed since he had Calvin Johnson, and he could throw for
Yeah, that's
4,500
true.
yards.
It's true.
In terms of the Lions, I think it was a pretty good haul, but apparently they could have gotten the number 8 pick. So
Oh wow. Missed out on that.
the weird thing is, I don't understand why Carolina's trying to get him. They're not close to competing like the Rams. They would need a lot
Yeah.
more moves.
I don't know. I think the Lions are still the bottom feeders in the NFC. I don't think this really changes much in the NFC North.
They're gonna take a long rebuild now, so we'll see if it works, because they didn't even take the first rounders for this year. They took first rounders for next year.
Yeah, that's true.
I will be interested to see how McVay does with a great QB in his system. Alright, moving on. Let's talk a little bit about college basketball and how Illinois is the best team in the world. I mean, listen, how many games has Illinois won in the last week? And how many games has Michigan won in the last week? Exactly. That's it.
You're speaking out of context.
Confirmed Illinois
Speaking out of
better.
context.
Confirmed Illinois better.
In that case, that makes Penn State better than Michigan.
I mean, yeah, duh. That's right. Yeah, so I think since last week, the big game in the last, there's been some big games. Illinois beat Iowa 80-75 on Friday. Huge win for Illinois, who had kind of been underperforming lately. Then they bounced back. They beat Iowa, or first they beat, I think, Penn State. Then they beat Iowa, and then they just beat Indiana yesterday too.
They almost lost to Indiana though.
They got two starters fouled out at the end, or with 4 minutes left, something like that, and they still won in overtime. That shows you the depth of this team. Meanwhile, um,
The Big 12.
the Big 12.
Big 12 is on something right now in basketball.
Man, the Big 12 right now, I mean, I thought at the beginning of the year it was clear, like, the Big 10 is the best conference.
Yeah.
Right now, Big 12 is coming for their money.
Know that Oklahoma Texas Tech game. I really thought Oklahoma was just gonna keep beating ranked teams until they just got completely. It was a very, very defensive matchup. Literally, like there was a lid on that rim for both teams, to be honest.
Oklahoma has been very good. I mean, they beat Alabama right before they played Texas Tech, and Alabama had won like 10 straight. There's some surprising teams. I don't think Alabama, Oklahoma would be this good. Texas Tech. You know what was crazy? Mac McClung, when Texas Tech was playing LSU on Saturday, he literally went on a 12-0 run to end the game by himself. It was crazy. He hit 2 threes, then he got a steal and an assist to take the lead, and then he hit some free throws to end the game.
And then he pretty much wasn't even a factor in the Oklahoma game.
Honestly, but they still won, so...
Yeah.
Honestly, Texas Tech better watch out for them in March.
Yeah, that's true. Chris Beard, man. He knows what he's doing, bro. He's a really, really good coach.
Definitely. So Baylor and Texas played yesterday. Baylor won 83-69. Man, no one can hang with Baylor. They're too good. I don't want to say, like, obviously they'll make the Final Four because anything can happen, but they look pretty unbeatable.
Yeah, I mean, Jared Butler is playing out of his mind right now. And defensively, they're having their way on defense.
I mean, it's crazy. It's like they can just flip a switch. Like, they were playing close with Auburn, too. They just flipped the switch. Suddenly they were up like 15. It's crazy. You know, Florida's become an underrated team.
Yeah.
They beat West Virginia, and I feel like everyone's just forgotten about them when they were honestly one of the top SEC teams before the season started.
No, they had that whole situation in the beginning of the season. But right now, 10-4, ranked 22nd in the country. They actually play LSU on Saturday. It's another 11-5 team. And right now they're winning by 5 against South Carolina.
Right now, the SEC, it's kind of probably not what anyone expected. Alabama's ahead by a decent margin. Then you have Florida, LSU, Arkansas, Missouri, and Tennessee all bunched up together.
You know, Arkansas is actually very underrated. They're 6-4 in the conference, 14-5. They're not ranked.
Gonzaga, man, that's they. Jalen sucks.
They're not gonna lose. They won't lose.
What's up?
Did you get soup and salad too?
It comes with it.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Gonzaga.
yeah, so it's been just Gonzaga, Baylor at the top, just constantly. No movement there. I mean, I don't know if Baylor has any tough games on their schedule remaining, but I could totally see both teams finishing undefeated. I mean, Gonzaga, they'll probably be undefeated. No hard games on their schedule left. Baylor still has some tough games. They play Oklahoma, Texas Tech, West Virginia twice, Oklahoma State, Kansas.
I don't see Baylor going undefeated. I know they've been completely dominant, but the Big 12, it's just too good. It's too good of a conference to let any team go undefeated.
I feel you. But I even if they lost a few games, I think if Baylor and Gonzaga were to match up in the Final Four, I would take Baylor. Just because they've played tougher teams overall. I know Gonzaga played a lot of good teams early in the season.
Yeah. They have more experience as well.
Yeah. I think Jared Butler would win in a matchup with Jalen Suggs. So, outside those top two, you always have like a shuffling afterwards. You have Villanova, Michigan, Houston, Texas, Ohio State, Iowa. You got like some teams were in there and quickly out, like Illinois, Texas Tech.
No.
Creighton,
Ohio State surprised me.
West Virginia. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, they lost.
They started off well.
They lost a lot of guys from last year, but they've been good.
I don't know. They started off well, lost a few games, and now it looks like they'll be anybody. But they do have a game tomorrow at Iowa, so
I think
this will be interesting to see.
I think
Ranked 7th and 8th in the country.
I definitely think they can win. I mean, Iowa just beat Michigan State yesterday, but it wasn't that convincing.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. It was like by 8, something like that.
It's not like Michigan State's good this year, so.
Yes.
Last thing about college basketball. Alright, there is a chance Kentucky, North Carolina, and Duke all miss the tournament?
I think North Carolina makes it as like a 9 seed or a 10 seed. I mean, they're 11 and 6.
Yeah, I think they'll make it. I don't think it's gonna be that bad for them. But Duke,
I think Duke will make it as 11 seed, and I don't think Kentucky is gonna make it.
I think Kentucky's screwed. Like they're just oof. They would need to go on a big run starting from right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know about Duke. I think UNC will make it, but Duke, they've been like subpar. They have to play North Carolina next, and then they have to play. Let's see. Still have to play. Well, not too bad of a schedule. The only good teams they really have to play still Virginia, Louisville.
Yeah, for Duke,
Tech, North Carolina again.
They had that great win against Clemson, which Clemson was ranked at one point. Clemson's gonna make the tournament. They blew them out. It looked like Coach K and his guys were finally, they were getting back on track. And then they just blow the game to Miami. Lost by 2. Because they didn't know how to take care of the ball at the end of the game. And now here they go again. They have another tough matchup versus North Carolina on Saturday.
Give me North Carolina. These games are always classics, though.
Yeah. Last year was a great game.
Alright. Moving on. Let's talk a little NBA. The Brooklyn Nets are going to the finals. I know they lost that really weird game against the Wizards. But besides that, I mean, yesterday...
They showed out yesterday.
They showed out against the Clippers. Even defensively, as long as they don't play the worst defense in the league, they can beat anyone.
Yeah, if they just have an average defense, their offense will take them very far.
And I mean, once they get probably Andre Drummond, defense won't be as much of an issue. Naam, Baba. Naam. Jay, okay.
I hope to see
the Jazz. It's gonna be Jazz Nets in the finals. Guaranteed.
Why do you say that?
I just think you got the Nets are the Nets. They got the big three, unstoppable to me. And then the Jazz, I've been saying they were a sleeper team since last year, and now they're finally playing like that. They're number 1 in the West right now.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, it's all coming together. Their offense has been producing open 3 after open 3. It's what I like to see. They just finished their 11-game win streak. They're for real. And they only lost because Nikola Jokic dropped 50 for the Nuggets.
Yes. I think Nikola Jokic can win MVP.
I think right now it's between Jokic, LeBron, Embiid, and those are the main guys, yeah. So I could totally see that. But I think eventually it's going to, like, the big men are going to fall out just because, like, that's how it is these days.
Yeah. Alright. Super Bowl time.
Alright. My pick, I say the Chiefs will win 30 to 24.
So I'm rooting for the Buccaneers. I want them to win. I think they're gonna win 27-20. No, I don't want them to.
27-20 what?
27-24.
No, see, I know the Chiefs are starting basically mostly backup offensive linemen, but we know Mahomes doesn't really need an offensive line to function. Last time they played, Tyreek Hill absolutely destroyed the Buccaneers. With their secondary, even if Antoine Winfield plays, I don't think they have an answer for both Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce.
You know, if they do somehow limit the big plays, the quick strike ability, then they could honestly win. You know, I mean, the last time they played they only won by 3, 27-24.
Well, that's true, but the Chiefs raced out to like a 20-0 lead. I would say what the Buccaneers need to do, they need to get pressure on Mahomes quickly, like within 2 seconds. They can't.
Yeah.
After that, they have no chance. They have a chance to do that because of the backup offensive line, and then offensively, they need to have long, methodical drives where Brady is completing short, intermediate passes to Evans and Godwin, and Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette can take advantage of the Chiefs' kind of struggling run defense.
And the thing is, I mean, Todd Bowles, like, this guy, he sends pressure. He sends pressure to the quarterback. But the thing is, what's it called? If you blitz, Mahomes is gonna make you pay.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to get pressure with four guys on the line, which I think they certainly can. You know, you got Shaq Barrett, JPP, and Dominican Sue and Vita Vea. Those are all great pass rushers. They can get pressure with 4 guys, especially since it's backup.
I mean, they just did it on the Packers too. So
Yeah,
they could definitely.
yeah.
But I mean, it depends. I feel like specifically their coverages, they had something figured out on the Packers, but the Packers don't. But the Packers have Devontae Adams. Like, the Chiefs have Kelce and Hill, like I said. Those are completely different beasts. I mean, I'm not going to say the Buccaneers have no chance just because Brady would do anything, but
I think it's going to be a close game.
I hope so. I think it will be, but it could definitely come down to the last possession. That's all we have for today. We will see you guys after the Super Bowl. I'm signing off.